Hey everyone, welcome to One Flight Down Basement Beer Tastings. Today is, I think this is probably the episode you'd never thought I would do. Today I'm looking at a selection of non-alcoholic craft beers. So my own experience with non-alcoholic beers, I've had a few over the years. Say I was driving that night, or I just didn't feel like drinking, but I wanted the taste of a beer. I've tried a few over the years, and usually not much of a fan. I've always found them to be very sugary or just like really, really watered down. I think the last time I had a non-alcoholic beer, I was at a hockey game. I usually like to have a beer, period, at the hockey game, even though, it costs a ridiculous amount of money. And I was on antibiotics, and I decided I would have a non-alcoholic beer. Being a big sports venue, the non-alcoholic beer they had was Budweiser Prohibition, which is what it was called at the time. I think it's called Budweiser Zero now. I assume they're the same thing. And it was okay. I mean, I had one. It was fine. It was, I think, up to that point, maybe the best non-alcoholic beer I'd ever had, but it still wasn't anything great. But now I'm starting to see a lot of craft non-alcoholic beers coming out. And a friend of mine is just in the middle of going dry for a couple of months, and he decided to drop off a handful of beers. Now, he gave me 6 beers, so I might split this into 2 episodes. 6 beers, for a really long episode. But we'll take a look at what we have here right now. And it is February. In Canada, the Canadian Cancer Society does Dry February as a fundraiser. A lot of people do Dry January because of New Year's resolutions and whatnot. So, so in honor of Dry February, I'm going to try some non-alcoholic beers. As I said, my friend Scott dropped some off to me. He said there were a couple that he really liked. I don't think he really specified which ones they were. But we're going to start off with Libra, the Upstreet Pilsner. It comes in at 0.4% alcohol, and it is, it's a Pilsner. It's 30 calories. Obviously, I'm not really much of a calorie counter. I don't know if that's good or bad, but anyway, let's crack this open. Non-alcoholic Shakluk is just as good as an alcoholic Shakluk. And yeah, I think most of the non-alcoholic beers I've had in the past have been lagers. So this Pilsner is closest to that, I think, that that I can compare. There was a brand, I don't know, I assume they're still around, called O'Doul's that I had tried maybe like 20 years ago or something like that. And they did like a red ale, I think. Wasn't a fan. It was very sugary. Didn't feel like drinking a real beer, and yeah, there was, I don't know, an odd kind of a flatness to it too, from what I remember. Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan, but I'm hoping to like this. Smells like a beer. It looks pretty nice. Looks like a nice Pilsner. Not much head left on it, but nothing wrong with that. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, it smells like a lager, so let's go in and have a taste. I'm going to have that second sip. Hold on. It's not bad. It's very light-bodied. Very light. It feels like I definitely have a beer aftertaste. It does, it tastes like a decent Pilsner, but it's very light. Like it tastes kind of watered down in a way. And I was hoping that wasn't going to be the case. I was looking up some stuff about Libra earlier. Just give me a quick sec here. According to their website, it looks like they really wanted to make non-alcoholic craft beer that was still delicious and true to style. They couldn't find that and made their own. They've teamed up with musician Serena Ryder to encourage Canadians to reimagine what being social means to them and to help them find a balance that works with their health and lifestyle goals. I get the sense that they really want to do beers that taste, like real beer, non-alcoholic beer that tastes like the alcoholic versions. I don't know if I should say real beer or not. What else do they have? They have a stout. They have a hazy IPA. That would be very curious to try just because I'm really into hazy IPAs these days. So it looks like it's just the three styles, the Pilsner, the Stout, and the Hazy IPA. And they all come in at 0.4% alcohol. So this is very light-bodied. I think, to be honest, it does taste like a non-alcoholic beer to me. It's not bad. Like, it does... I wouldn't put this up against a really good Pilsner. And expect it to taste exactly the same. But it's not bad. Like I'll finish this and still be able to operate heavy machinery, so that's good. So the ingredients are water, malted barley, flaked barley, hops, and yeast. It's crafted on the east coast of Canada. I believe I saw somewhere that they're from Prince Edward Island, actually. Oh, there it is. Charlottetown. Yeah. So they brew this in Charlottetown. Yeah, there's not much body to it. The mouth feels very thin. Even the aftertaste is just kind of, I don't know. Like it tastes like I had beer a few hours ago. I don't know. It's not quite there for me, but hopefully the next one will be a bit better. All right, moving on to the next one. I gotta say, I did finish the Libra, and what little bit of enthusiasm I had for it went away the further I got with it. As it became less cold, it was just it's just fairly lifeless. But this next one, I'm pretty excited to try. So this is from Big Drop Brewing out of Toronto. So my friend Scott, who gave these beers to me, also sent me a really cool video that I'll try to remember to put in the links in the bottom there. An interview with one of the brewers from Big Drop, and is kind of about his quest to make non-alcoholic beers that taste like the real thing. I'm hoping that I'll enjoy this more than the last one. So let's give it a go. It is the Big Drop Brewing Company Pine Trail Pale Ale. Okay. Smells pretty good. I got a really good aroma just from opening the can on that. That was pretty good. It smells kind of fruity and decent. Let's have that first sip. Going for number 2 before I talk about it. Okay. I don't know what it is. There's it still feels like it's lacking something to me. It's definitely a fuller flavor than the last one was. Kind of got an odd aftertaste. What can I tell you about this? Big Drop Brewing, as I said, is from Toronto. This is a pale ale style non-alcoholic beer. It has never more than 0.4% alcohol, 42 IBUs. First time I've ever seen IBUs on a can of non-alcoholic beer, so that's kind of fun. The hops are Magnum, Mosaic, and Amarillo. The ingredients are water, barley, wheat, milk, hops, and yeast. 72 calories per can. Yeah, so the thing I find interesting in here is milk is mentioned in the ingredients. And on the video that I had watched, the brewer was talking about how using lactose as your sugar in the beer helps it get closer to that beer flavor. There's just kind of an overall thinness to it. It's got a little bit of a, I don't know if it's a heavier body, but there's something on the finish. It's got a really lingering finish to this. And a bit of a smokiness to it. Yeah, there's a bit of a fruitiness up front, very subtle fruitiness, and then it kind of settles into this kind of odd, smoky kind of thing. Yeah, it's odd. I don't know. And I'm noticing, like, when I cracked open the can, it had a really good pale ale kind of a smell to it. And now, I don't know what it smells like, but it doesn't smell like it did when I first opened it. Quite disappointed with this one. I think I'd actually put this lower than the Libra. It just... Yeah, if I was deciding I wasn't drinking for the night and wanted the taste of a beer, this wouldn't quite do it for me. Yeah, it's missing something, right? I don't know, there's something just a bit off to it that every time I bring the glass to my mouth, I just don't really want it anymore. But we do have another one coming up, so I'm holding on hope for this next one. Be honest here, full disclosure, I did not finish this one. So, yeah, I know I didn't have a lot of enthusiasm for the Libra, but I was able to finish it. It was okay. It wasn't something I really, really enjoyed, but I could finish it and enjoy it for the most part until it started to warm up a little. Big drop, I really couldn't get that into. And I'm not going into this with trying to just bash non-alcoholic beers. I'd actually really like to find something that I like here. I mean, I don't find myself in situations very often where I want to drink a non-alcoholic beer, but I know people who do, and I'd like to help them find one that they like. There's all kinds of reasons somebody might want to drink a non-alcoholic beer, and I'd like to support them in that and try to find something good for them. Okay, so this next one is something called Partake Brewing IPA. I'm gonna give them points right off the hop, just off the hop. I'm gonna give them points right off the hop for the name. I like the name Partake. If you're gonna have a non-alcoholic beer, that seems to be the name to go for. Partake Brewing IPA at 0.3% alcohol. Oh, I should be putting this up where you can see it. So already, I mean, it looks like it has a little more life to it. It's got it's got a bit of head on the glass. It's nice, more than about a finger and a half head. Nice white fluffy head. Smells very fresh and bright. Okay, let's go in for this one. I've got a better feeling about this. That's actually quite decent. Hold on, I should have the second sip. Maybe this second sip will destroy that for me. Yeah, that is quite decent. The body is still off a bit, but this does taste like a light IPA. Like I would compare this. I've had, like lighter IPAs that come in like at about 4% alcohol, and I would say this is pretty similar to some of those. So Partake IPA, 10 calories. Okay, I don't know. As I said, I don't know much about counting calories, but I do know that 10 calories is quite low. Ingredients: water, barley, hops, yeast. They're out of Toronto as well. Yeah, this is not bad. For the three I have tried so far, I think this one's actually pretty decent. I mean, even the color is right, the head retention, and I mean, I already had higher hopes for this one, just because I like the name. I think it's kind of clever. But I've also heard from some people who exclusively drink non-alcoholic beers now, who have said that this was their favorite. So I could see why. It's still, the body is still off a bit, but it is a lot closer, and it's actually got it's got a decent flavor to it. Like, if you like IPAs, you might like this. Look, it's not the same as jumping in and having like a fat tug or something, but it's decent. I didn't really say anything about what kind of hops are in here. I'm just gonna see if I can find anything online. So this is made with Cascade, Amarillo, and Citra hops. This IPA pours brilliant gold with a bouquet of sweet florals, grapefruit, and honey, and a light effervescent body with a lingering grapefruit bitterness after the swallow. I'm not getting a strong grapefruit taste out of this. Certainly not the same as a lot of other IPAs that have had like Citra hops and that kind of thing. But I mean, it's there. The floral grapefruit is there. Just it's a little more subtle than you usually get. One criticism I will have is I noticed that it does have a strange lingering aftertaste. It's all fine when it's going down. I find the aftertaste just lingers a little strangely, and I found that with all these that they had an odd lingering aftertaste. For the most part, this is pretty decent. Would I buy it myself? Maybe. If I wanted to get non-alcoholic beer for any reason, sure. Yeah, this, of all the ones I've tried so far, would be the one I would go for. And I mean, I'll try other beers from them, from all these breweries. I think actually what Scott gave me were 2 from each brewery. So I'll continue on with those. So next episode, I'm going to do 3 more non-alcoholic beers from the 3 breweries that we see here. So we're going to be moving into darker styles now, and I'm really curious to see how that goes. So let me know, what are your thoughts on non-alcoholic beers? Are there ones that you like, that you've had, that you'd like to recommend to someone? Are there some you think I should try on the show as well? Let me know. So until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, drink local when you can, drink non-alcoholic if that's your thing, no shame in that. Cheers, everybody.